Hello there guys, CPC Guy here, and today we are going to be trying our hand at soldering some LED strips together. It's for the project that, if you guys have seen some of my past videos, not necessarily recent past, but I had a project to put some LED strips on the, shelves back there to just put some lighting on the products. I usually record with my blinds closed because of the obviously light issues that you are seeing back there. But in any case, just to try to make it look a bit better, a bit a better look, and just, well, a nicer aesthetic overall. So that's what we're going to be trying to do today. I am not exactly an experienced solder. I would be lying if I said it would be my first time, but by that I mean that I have literally yesterday tried for like 5 minutes with some very mixed results. So today we're going to be trying a new and seeing if we have any better luck. Don't use this video as a tutorial, mind you. I have watched a few tutorials myself, but I'm very far from being able to teach anyone how to do it. It's more to let you guys see exactly, exactly the very basics of it and some of the issues that you run into it, because I will run into issues. First of all, what do you need? You need some solder basically to solder your stuff together. And I have a soldering iron, obviously, and I have a very basic one. This is the one I have. This cost me like literally next to nothing. It's as basic as it gets. Obviously, there are a lot better ones back there, but considering that is just for possibly a one-time project, I did not want to spend a whole lot on it, so this is what I got. And it does its job, it works, as I saw yesterday, but again, it is not ideal. I would really like one that has something that can let you hold and kind of clamp on whatever it is that you're soldering, because you will see how tricky it gets if I can capture it properly. Now, ideally, you are going to be wanting to have a good space to work on, like a work table, whatever. But because of, well, recording restrictions, because I'm kind of stuck to my webcam that's on my PC, I'll be kind of doing it here at the front. I'll just shove my keyboard to the side and my mouse to the side. I'll do it right here, at least so you guys can see. To actually get it in place, I'll have to be soldering there upside down, which is not exactly the easiest way to do it, and hopefully it will be fine. And I'll be doing some improvising to kind of try to make it manageable. So if you're curious about the results of yesterday and why it was not exactly a success, the lights work, but some wires came loose because they weren't really soldered properly, and even before that they were only really doing the white. They were not doing any other colors. Now it's even worse because wires are loose, so we are going to be just clipping the wires a little bit there, doing it anew, and hoping for some better results. So remember when I said this wasn't any example or tutorial? Well, this is why. Normally you'd want something like an alligator clip, or whatever they're called, that to hold something together instead of tape. Yeah. So we have to make do with what we have around here. In any case, few safety guidelines: don't solder near your eyes or face, obviously. Don't hold the metal part of your soldering iron, because that is going to be hot AF and we don't want to get burned. And yeah, just be careful. These are power tools, obviously. They get really hot. They can start fires if you're not careful, if you lay it down on paper or whatever. So be careful with that sort of thing. And yeah, just stay safe and watch a few tutorial videos other than this video, obviously, before you actually start. So for starters, let's wait until the iron heats up. And what I am going to be doing is stuff that I saw on other tutorial videos. It might or might not be the easiest way, I am not quite sure, so I'll just be following the videos I saw as well. So don't use it as an example. So what they advised is to get a little bit of solder on your tip. Had to reshoot there because it wasn't hot enough, but anyway, get a little bit of solder on the tip of your iron, and then get it on the contacts there. You want to be careful and not get any solder on the other contacts, because otherwise you're going to be there's going to be contact between the different colors and your strips are going to do only white. So that's exactly what happened to me yesterday, and that's something that we want to avoid. So make sure that you only get it on the proper contact that you should. This is kind of what you want. As you see, there is no contact, there is no solder spilling from each of the copper contacts to the other, so the signal should not cross and you should get a nice clear, RGB functionality out of your strips. Again, I'm not claiming to be the best soldering job ever. Like I said, this is literally my second time trying it out, so I'll just be happy if it works at all, regardless if it's pretty or not. So for the next step, what I saw on the videos that I watched, they recommend putting a little bit of solder at the tip of your wires here, so that's what we are going to be doing. Next up, we are going to be connecting the wires to the actual connectors on the RGB strip. And if you are very handy, it gets complicated because these wires are kind of small and close to each other. And it's easy to kind of lose the space that you're working with. So what we are going to do is we're going to melt the solder that we put on the contact and hold it in place with these tweezers until it actually dries. So that way we should have an easier time than I did yesterday, making sure the contacts are not crossing between the places where they shouldn't, and they should hopefully stick nice and steadily to the solder that we put there beforehand. So there we go, that should be it. The solder should dry nearly instantly. Another advantage of using the tweezers like I did is that you're not actually holding the wires, and even though the wires are isolated, they're insulated, they're plastic, you can feel they're getting hot while you are soldering near them. So this is also helping with not getting that hot feeling in your fingers that makes you wonder if you should probably let go of it or not. In any case, they are soldered. I am not going to claim it's the neatest job, but there does not seem to be any crossing of aiming is difficult. Come on. And there we go. There does not seem to be any crossing of the channels, at least I hope not. I noticed that the 12 volt isn't exactly neat, but for demonstration purposes it should be fine. So let's give this a go, see if it actually does what it's supposed to and works as it should. The other end of the strip that I soldered yesterday is not as neat as this one is. So there might be issues there, and I might have to hit the other end as well, but let's hope not. At least at the naked eye it seems to be fine. So let's press the power button on the LED strips and hope that we get something. So this is on white, so we have white definitely, we have blue, we have green, that's green even though it doesn't look like it, and we have red. So it is working perfectly as it should. All three colors are working. White, which is a mix of the three in the strips, is working as well. So this is working exactly as it should. Perfect. Not to pat myself on the back, but that was pretty great for only my second attempt. So I'm really happy with it. It's going to be a lot more difficult doing it at the back than with upside down, but it's a good start and it's practice, which is what I wanted. So what's the next step? The next step is something that I actually cannot take right now. You need a heat shrink. You need heat shrink to, you basically slide it over one end of the cable or the LED strip until the place where the connection is. You shrink it to make sure that those connections stay in place. You want something that hopefully has like some glue compound in it, so it actually gets that glue melts and gets in between the contacts, so it prevents that there will be any kind of crosstalk between the channels, whatever, that the colors will mix up in the end, that all your work is undone and you have to start over. If not, it's not the biggest of deals, it's just a nice thing to have to make sure everything is fine. But you really want that heat shrink, not only for insulating reasons, because there's a slightly exposed electrical component there, but also to make sure that the solder does not come undone, because it can be quite fragile, especially someone like me, that you don't have a lot of experience in making it as good as it should, and it's kind of a hack job. So get some heat shrink. It will save you trouble in the long run if you, for example, bump into the strip or touch it accidentally sometime and the solder comes undone and you have to go through the whole process of setting it up again and fixing it. So definitely will save you some trouble in the long run, as well as making it safer in general. I don't actually have heat shrink in the house with me at the moment, so that's kind of caps the product for now. There will be a lot more soldering in the future because, as you can see back there, that cabinet thing, whatever you want to call it, has a lot of compartments. There will be one LED strip per compartment. Each LED strip you have to solder two ends, and then have to sort out a way to actually solder and fix them there. I am thinking of drilling a hole between each compartment, but that means also having to solder upside down while the strips are already in place. So that's going to be a challenge. We'll have to see how exactly that will pan out. Uh, in any case, I'm quite happy with the way that the soldering went, at least for a second time. Again, do not take this as a tutorial. I'm fully expecting criticism of you're doing it wrong, you should do it that way or that way. I know, I'm just getting into this and kind of just practicing if it's something that I can actually pull off. So thank you guys for watching. I hope it has been entertaining, even if not too educational. And I'll see you guys in the next time. I will keep you guys updated on the project back there. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next video.